We're not immune.
Okay.
Some things never change.
Never. Change that to the all chat instead of just the top chat.
I will take care of that, baby. If it'll let me. There we go.
Okay, let's see if it tells us
that we were live.
That we are live.
Let's see. 0 viewers.
We are live. It shows that we are live.
Awesome.
So, boom.
Now, if we can just get people to come in. Oh,
Who's
there's two. We got Henry and April.
Hello, hello. How are y'all doing this evening?
There's Dee.
So let's go ahead and let's kick this off. Let's get some house, what do they call it, house cleaning out of the way.
Man, baby, you have lost some weight.
That's not part of the house cleaning.
I was just looking at the screen like, you lost it and I found it. Like, wow.
So.
Housekeeping, go ahead, babe.
Okay, those of you that are in there, can y'all hear us fine, see us fine? It's been over a year since we've done this, so I want to make sure that we got everything set up correctly.
And I can't remember if we've been since we got this computer.
No, we have not been since we've gotten this computer.
Yeah, so.
We had a little issues even just trying to go live today, so. I
was just thinking, dang, Jason has lost some weight.
So obviously they can hear us now. She knows that. So
all good.
Awesome,
hey.
awesome sauce.
What's up?
So let's go ahead and get the house cleaning out of the way. We want to thank our sponsors that's been putting up with us for over the years and some for just a short period of time. LogOx with their forestry toolkit. They were one of our very first sponsors. We still have our forestry toolkit and it is still working like it did day one. Of course, for all your heirloom seeds, needs, wants, hopes, dreams, desires, visit our friends at Baker Creek at rareseeds.com. And one thing I can say, we've been using those guys. They are actually the only heirloom seeds that we use here on our homestead. And we have close to a 100% germination rate with those seeds. Amazing seeds. And of course, Robin's enabler.
My enabler, that's funny.
I
don't know that she'd like to be called that.
Her little dealer, Ginger, over there, Murray McMurray. She's like, psst, hey Robin, we got a new bird.
Well,
you should try it.
It was funny because when we were making the duck video, she's like, oh, so we're going to do ducks now.
Insert evil laugh. And, of course, for all of our electric fence needs, Gallagher.
Product placement.
Their link will be, all of our sponsors' links will be popping up in the chat box periodically. Thank you to one of our awesome moderators. But Gallagher also has a coupon code with us. When you go to checkout, type in the coupon code Big Bear Homestead, and then it'll get you a whole 10% off of your purchase. Plus, it makes us look good. So we appreciate it if y'all would do that. And then, of course, last but not least, Steck Equipment. If you guys are new or this is the first time that you've come across our channel or whatever, Steck Equipment and Coyote Tractors, they really kind of kicked our homesteading dream and game up to the next level by working with us in the purchase of our Coyote Tractor and side-by-side. And when I talk about a combat multiplier, boys, let me tell you, it's like we've gained 1.5 acres land. That's one of the things that we've been doing while we've been gone. It's just really regaining.
And that's just in the front. Like, we haven't even.
Yeah, I haven't even touched it back.
We haven't even gone back there yet.
I think the people at Steck get nervous, so when we start talking about me going to the back, what's it gonna break? No, that Coyote Tractor, I don't think anybody from Stack is quite in here yet. So I will say
there's a replay.
Yeah, there's that. I'm gonna say it anyway. Look, y'all, I have done stuff with that tractor in side by side that would probably make them people pull their hair out, and this thing keeps. It's like Rocky Balboa. It's like, what all you got?
Well, here's the beauty behind the people at Stack that we've been in contact with, and that's pretty much everybody there. They get that. We're not the only people that are like that. They have that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I'm the only one who admits to it.
And so the great thing about that is that it's giving us an opportunity to create content to say, hey, maybe don't do this because this will break it or something like that. Something
like I broke the backhoe because I was dragging a huge oak stump, and they said to me,
well, the way you were dragging it,
they looked at me and said, let's not drag it that way.
Hey, Art, what's up?
Their level of customer service is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
We get treated like kings and queens, like we're their only customer, and we know that we're not.
Well, and we've seen them do that with others too. Yeah. Like when we're there filming or something, we get to see them interacting with other people.
Well, the great thing is like I tell everybody when they ask me, why do you speak so highly of Stack? They can't be that good. One, yes, they are. Mm-hmm. Two is because when we went shopping for tractors, we didn't tell anybody we were content creators. We didn't tell anybody we had a YouTube channel or anything.
No.
We actually even borrowed a friend's car so no Big Bear Homestead stickers were on it. And they haven't treated us any different from that time, those couple times that we went in there, to the times when we started talking to them about becoming a sponsor of our channel. And the reason why we asked them to become a sponsor, it wasn't to catch a deal on a tractor. It was because of their level of customer service, and we really wanted to promote that because personally I feel customer service is the most important thing out there, because at the end of the day, like I was talking to
even Joel, the man, I was gonna say, if the man says it, then it's gospel.
I was talking with Joel Salatin at the Farm Where You Live conference, and he said, you know, when it comes to buying, because he came over because we were working this hanging out with Stack at their booth, he came over and said, you know, at the end of the day, my daddy said you never buy paint, meaning you never buy
your
a tractor based on its color. You buy the service, and I believe we got way more than what we paid for at Stack when it comes to level of service.
I agree with that.
So there's all the housekeeping out of the way. Also, if you guys feel led to, we redid our members program part here on YouTube. The tiers are still named the same. I think the top tier we did cut the price in half, but all the other ones stayed the same, and the things that we are offering have changed. So go check them out because one of the tiers, if you're a member of that tier, you do get a after the live stream. So you get an after the program show for 30 minutes after the live stream every week. So if you guys feel led to, go check that out. So now all of the housekeeping I think is done. I didn't sweep anything under the rug, so I think I got it all out there, right?
No, I think you got it.
All right, so let's get into this week's show.
You had to move. What? I told you that the autofocus was gonna act funny.
Well,
so you had to move.
Sorry, you know I can't sit still when we do this. I can't sit still deer hunting. That's why I have to hunt so high. So.
You said it, not me.
You know I'm always moving.
And see, now you're trying to set it off. Quit.
Where they can't get a shot on.
It's like Big Bear pay-per-view. Yeah, kind of.
All right, so where have we been?
So we looked it up. Our last live stream was in April. The last one that we actually did, sitting down, not counting the cow being, cows having babies or whatever, we or pigs or whatever it was that we live streamed. Here's this format's been since like the end of April. So there's a lot that's gone on in the last year and a half.
Yep.
Yep, a lot.
We roughly, let's see, in April last year was when we did our very last live stream, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to kind of back up to before that. I started having some very serious health issues.
That's why a lot. If you were some of our loyal people and you were watching all the time, you noticed that our videos started to be fewer and far between.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a reason for that.
Yeah. And as I was going through these issues, these changes, trying to figure out what in the world was going on with me, some of you that have been around for a while know that we lost Apollo. Apollo died. And
that September before the April.
And it was very hard on me, especially. And but
there was a positive to it, kind of, if you can call it that.
Yeah. That really started to trigger my healthcare providers, my doctors, to go, well, maybe we need to look into this kind of thing, and which really aggravates me a little bit. For the longest time, I was very, very angry about this, and I was not a really pleasant person to be around because I was mad that it took my dog dying for somebody to actually stand up and pay attention to what I was saying. So we started running all these tests and doing all of these procedures and whatnot, and the tests and stuff honestly made me feel worse. They made me feel worse about myself, because here I am taking these tests. My bride is right in there with me, beside me, and I'm failing these tests one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. And I'm getting embarrassed. I feel like they're just taking my man card and running it through a shredder. And I started kind of going into an angry depression kind of thing.
Hey, Sam.
Because one, I was embarrassed.
Or maybe that's Karen, I'm sorry.
Because I was failing all these things in front of Robin. Two, they didn't really kind of figure everything out at that particular point in time. And it kind of was, I don't know exactly the right words.
It was a rough time.
To put it in. Robin is a saint because she stuck with me through all this. She had absolutely every reason to pack up and take the girls and leave, but they didn't. I'm always going to be eternally grateful for that, because I was beyond hard to live with at this time.
Well, especially after Apollo died, because you had a lot of what's the word?
Guilt?
Resentment. It wasn't just guilt, there was resentment there, and part of that was on me because you kept screaming at me that there were things that were wrong, and I kept chalking it up to him either being older, or one of the other things that the VA fed us a couple of years ago was that his pain level was so high. They literally had him going to a psychologist for his pain, trying to tell him that anything that he was dealing with memory-wise was not because his memory was bad. It was because it was selective hearing, because he was paying more attention to his pain than he was to what was being said around him. So I bought into that. It's plausible. It makes sense. I could see that. When you don't feel good, you're not really paying much attention. So then when this happened, it was like a bugle or a you know, bullhorn, where it was very clear that there was something wrong. And so we immediately stopped what we were doing, knocked down doors with the VA to be able to get an appointment, and started running this rabbit of trying to figure out what was really going on. And while we don't have all the answers yet, because what we're finding is that everything that he has is evolving constantly because it has to deal with his brain. And we're learning new stuff every day. We just recently, within the last 6 months, I don't know if you can see his glasses, but they're tinted. Jason has an aversion to light when it gets dark. I'm actually surprised he's not wearing his other ones because of that light on you. You're not getting a headache or anything like that? So he's noticed that the sunlight, he was having horrible headaches for a while. We did CT scans, did x-rays, all kinds of stuff. Neurology sent him with something that made him look like he was from Star Trek, and just didn't
do absolutely nothing. It did absolutely nothing for my headaches. This is funny. but it's a wonderful machine if you get the hiccups and you put it on your sternum and turn it all the way up, because it sends out little like electric pulses.
It's like a TENS unit, but for your head.
Yeah, hiccups going.
But he put it there, and it shocked his diaphragm and caused it to stop.
And once they learned about that, they took it away from me.
That's not true. No, what happened was one of them, the one he had, started acting weird, and it started giving him like shoots of pain, and so they were like, let's do a different one. And from that point, and I can't blame him for this, he didn't really want to use it after that.
It was like a bolt of electricity going through my...
He was sitting on the couch, and all of a sudden I saw it, like he ripped it off his forehead and threw it across the room, and I was like, what just happened? It shocked me.
It's like somebody took an extension cord, stripped
awful.
off the two ends, plugged it in, and stuck it on my head. It was bad. But anyway.
So anyway, back to, we're still learning that there are things that, is he the one that sent you the thing that we need to replace?
The poncho liner?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So, finally, the poncho liner is, rest in peace.
It's only like 5 years old.
Yeah, that's pretty old. But, grays are just hair glitter. So anyway, we have a diagnosis now. We're kind of like starting to see everything through a new filter. There are things like with his reflux that I'm starting to think might be, could be connected to that. There's just a whole bunch of stuff. So
basically the diagnosis I got is a traumatic brain injury. Mm-hmm. Now,
we moved to a different spot.
When I first got out of the military, they didn't even know about it. It wasn't even a thing. Was never tested for it. And when I first got out, it was probably mild. Could have been fixed.
Well, I don't know that fixed is the right word.
Well, it says it could have been fixed on the internet.
Oh, okay.
But through the years of it just progressively got worse.
Well, and
because it wasn't getting treated.
And the other thing is that some of the symptoms that can be associated with TBI also overlap with PTSD. And so a lot of the things they will sweep under the rug as PTSD and say, you're just dealing with trauma, right? So there were a lot of things like his anxiety, his, he could be sitting joking around with us and everything be fine, and then all of a sudden something would happen and we would go the whole opposite direction. And it wouldn't be pain, it would just be, no control over it. And so that too can be PTSD because of triggers, right? But sometimes there were things that we couldn't really, and I was the queen of trying to figure them out so that we didn't you know, trigger you
It-
again.
Sometimes it would just be.
But it
for
would
no
just be
reason
random
whatsoever.
stuff, and I say it would be. He still has those occasionally, but
The stuff that freaks me out now is the stuff I can't smell.
yes,
Like,
or taste.
or taste.
And that's not it wasn't COVID. This was before COVID. So
I learned in last April, that I cannot smell natural gas. I was working on
what's up, Brett?
on a retreat, and we're going to talk about that retreat in a minute because this retreat had a major life impact on me. And I was working in the kitchen, and I couldn't smell the natural gas to get the stove going. So that kind of freaked me out a little bit. There are some things that I'm over the top smelling.
Well, the funny thing that sometimes
I can't smell dead animals anymore either.
Sometimes with certain foods, you'll taste it and it tastes awful.
Yeah.
And it doesn't taste awful. It's just what
it'll taste rancid
just
to me.
tastes awful.
Yeah.
And yes, that's exactly. So Deanna said, "Man, that's scary to not be able to smell gas." That was it wasn't just the not being able to smell it. It was the implications of not being able to smell it. Like, what does that look like? You know, that's not good, especially when we cook with natural gas here at the house.
Yeah. So, but fast forward, I have these little growths on my ear.
Yeah, so now he has hearing aids that help with the tinnitus or tinnitus, whichever way you say.
I don't believe they work, but the girls hate them because I guess they mumble. When they mumble now, I can understand it. So
it does work.
So I guess it kinda works.
Well, the way it really works is when you can mute me.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
He's got a setting on there if he double taps.
I've never ever seen Robin get so mad when she figured out that I muted her, because I can just hit this button and it just turns up the white noise so loud I can't hear anything else because it's trying to drown out my tinnitus. And so
he was smiling. One time I was talking about something, he was just smiling, and I was like, "Are you listening to anything I'm saying?" And he's like, and I'm like, "You're not. Do you have me on mute?"
She got a little upset. What's going on, Sam? I got your message. I don't know why it's not letting you in.
I know someone with a TBI. Doc put her on particular Alzheimer medication as a test. Has made a world of difference.
Yeah.
So you're saying you can't smell good?
No, can't. And so then I got these glasses.
So that was the next thing that we started to figure out. I was talking about the headaches earlier. So we had originally thought that it, was something neurological, that they needed to stimulate something to make it. And then you went in for...
Well, they freaked me out. They sent me to the low vision clinic, and I'm surrounded by blind people. I'm like, I'm not going blind.
Well, it was time for your prescription.
It was time
for the prescription
to get my annual thing.
And I guess now, since everything is labeled through the TBI clinic, like they've started to really focus on TBI being the cause of things. So
that's what got me these.
Right. So when they went they did it with his hearing. They put him in a special clinic. Like, the lady that did his testing was familiar with TBI, so they went through it that way. And then when he went for his eyeglasses,
they had me do this test where they treat you like an astronaut, and you get to sit in this thing, and they put this stuff over your face. It took them like 2 days to clean up that room by the time I got done, because I blew my cookies.
And he didn't even move. They barely moved him.
I felt like I was spinning on the top, and the lady said, "You just literally went that far." And I was like, "No, you had me."
So yeah. So then when we went in for his yearly or 2-year or whatever it is for his glasses, they sent him through the TBI clinic, and the TBI clinic's like, "Yeah, we want you to go to low vision," which freaked him out, because as soon as we walked in, there's nothing but people walking around with their walking canes.
Was blind.
And we're like,
yeah. And the lady come out there, and
that's not right.
She came out there and she sit, and she's like, "Okay, we're gonna go through your what is it called, the pre thing where they do it." She's like, "Okay, so you have any questions? And I'm like, yeah, why am I here?
Yeah, that was the first thing. She's like, do you have any questions for me? And he's like, why am I here? She's like, what do you mean?
I said, I'm not blind.
He's like, I'm not blind. She's like, oh, well, the TBI clinic put you through here. We see a lot of the TBI patients to be able to help them out. So then she took us back there, and they did your prescription, and you actually had lost a little bit of vision.
And they gave me these stupid
eye drops. Yeah, because his eyes were really dry.
Satan things that you're supposed to put in my eyes that I don't want you to put in my eyes.
And
what?
So then we got finished with that, and we thought we were done. And she's like, oh no, now you have to go see the other lady. And so we went with the other lady, and she
didn't put drops in my eyes, so I like her.
She pulls out this like bag and boxes full of stuff, and we're like, what's going on? And she starts telling him about how they've noticed with TBI patients that a lot of times light is a sensitivity for them and can cause them headaches. And it was so crazy to see because Jason just, it's like this light just came on. He was like,
I mean, that was one of the things that I kept telling everybody is like, especially at night when Robin was, because I just stopped.
He couldn't drive anymore at night.
That it felt like headlights were like straight laser beams and they were coming straight into my eyes. Well, one of the things that they gave me for nighttime was these glasses. Now these
so they have a little yellow.
They're like little. They kind of remind me of old time shooting glasses, but they're my prescription with the bifocals, and they are amazing. I kind of feel like RoboCop or some type of a superhero because I feel like I can see forever. And so now I'm back being able to drive at night, and
which is nice.
I can see everything.
And we started to talk, but he's got filters on the glasses right now that he wears, and he wears those inside. So this is the only part that stinks about this whole thing, is the man has 3 pairs of glasses that he has to carry with him pretty much all the time.
Yeah. And these are my look, I got a little note from my wife inside my glasses.
And I don't know if y'all noticed, because this is one thing that nobody has commented on, but all of Jason's videos recently,
these are my outside.
He has been wearing these glasses, and I mean, they look like sunglasses. So
I'm a little upset with some of y'all that's been around for a while, because y'all didn't tell me the color of the Walmart sign. About how blue that thing is.
Yeah, so that was the thing that was really cool. So they took him outside to test these glasses. And he tested these inside, and he was like, oh yeah, that really helps a lot. It's not as, it's not as bright in here. So then she's like, okay, well, we got to go outside. And Jason's like, what for? And she's like, So we got outside, and she starts giving him all these different glasses with different colored filters. And she said that what they've noticed is that a lot of TBI patients respond really well to either a dark green or a dark purple filter. And so he tried the dark green, and while it worked good for him, he tried the purple, and he was like, whoa. And when I tell you that the man is not a crier, but I watched a stream of a tear come down the side of his cheek, and he was like, whoa, do clouds really, because remember you were like seeing the outlines of the clouds. He's like, whoa, are there outlines to clouds? And I was like, oh my God, like he was seeing things that he hasn't seen in years, almost like when he first started acupuncture for his tinnitus and he could hear out of his ears. So it's been a blessing. It's been a hard road, but it's been a blessing because
we're not at the end of the road.
I don't think there'll ever be an end. I think we're just going to keep on riding down it.
But the tests are still rough. They're still embarrassing.
However,
I absolutely hate them.
We have learned, though, that he can tell them he doesn't want to do them because they make him feel bad. The only problem with that is that Jason
they come
has
up with
to
another
understand.
one that's twice as hard.
Jason has to understand that the the idea behind the test is to check to see if he's lost any more function or anything like that. And so it's kind of necessary. They're trying to find other things that maybe won't make him feel as bad, that they can still tell. But as of right now,
I'm trying to retrain myself that my name is Stephen, and I'm from Ireland. Stephen from Braveheart.
mm-hmm.
So that way I can everybody would just maybe just leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I just think I'm crazy.
No,
But as we're talking about Stephen, we're talking about God, because
mm-hmm.
Stephen is always talking to
Mm-hmm.
God. We have been this whole process. God was in it. God was working, and we just because of my anger and frustration and embarrassment a lot, I didn't see God working like I should have. But the church at the end of our driveway, we decided to give them a go again. I think
Last summer.
I think we were we really just wanted
It's on the list.
pain in our life. That's why we started going back to that church.
No, let's be completely honest. We noticed that they were changing out pastors, and the name of the pastor happened to be a woman. So, of course, it piqued our interest. So, Jason was still not in a place where he wanted to try something new, so me and the girls went first.
Mm-hmm.
And we met this lady, and she was wonderful. She had a lot of gumption about her, and we knew that Jason would like her too. So, we told him.
I was still getting my church via YouTube with Damon Thomas that Jeremiah turned me on to, and but I really wanted, through listening to his teachings and stuff, I really wanted to get back into a church building and start
and to have church family and stuff.
Start to have a community around us, and so I was on fire for God. I mean, there was a sermon by Damon where he was talking about how you got to open up your entire heart, and really when you let stuff go, you let it go, you don't pick it back up. And it really moved me, and it really started getting my relationship with Jesus back on the right track. And the pastor up there, Sharon, after talking with us, and we fed her and her family a couple times, have them come down, and we feed them and get to know them, fellowship, stuff like that. She invited us to go,
I think
me
she
first.
voluntold you.
Yeah, she voluntold me that I was going on this retreat called Walk to Emmaus. If you have, they're all over the place. They're worldwide. If you have the opportunity to go on the Walk to Emmaus, strongly suggest it. Encourage you. Exactly. If you live around us and you want to go, I'll sponsor you to go. But went on this retreat. It was an amazing time. My anxiety was through the roof in the beginning.
Almost didn't stay.
And kind of had a little bit of an embarrassing moment that nobody caught. I was unpacking my sea bag, and Ladessa stuck her big stuffed teddy bear in there with a note that says hold on to my teddy bear, or something like that. And
oh, cool. Patty's been on it.
And so I real quick just shoved that in my sleeping bag, because I was just with a whole bunch of dudes, and I didn't want them to see this big burly guy with a teddy bear.
So it's over 2 weekends. The first weekend is for the men, and the second weekend is for the women. There are no men or no women working in the men's walk, except for a very few, like if you have clergy members or something like that. But it's primarily men. And then with the women's walk, it is almost all women, except for you may have a couple clergymen, something like that.
Yeah. And so as we were going through, I was going through my walk, there came a moment where I just let go of my anger. I let everything go, and I try to describe it to people as when I was getting up from the foot of the cross. It was like in Superman 2 when Christopher Reeve walked into the chamber when he was going to have his powers taken away from him so he could marry Lois, and you saw Superman pulling away from Clark. I physically saw that angry Jason, that nasty Jason just die away. I mean, that's just the best way that I can describe it. When I came home, I apologized to both of my daughters
Separately,
apologizing to them for not being the father that I should have been, not being the spiritual leader of the household like I should have been. I apologized to Robin, who proceeded to cry for 45 minutes, and I didn't eat a thing for a week.
that's
She
not
gave
true.
me. No, I'm just kidding. But it really, that experience really changed my life. Robin went on her walk. She had her experience, and then we proceeded to stay connected in to Emmaus. I'm being very vague, and I'm being very vague
Intentionally.
for a reason. Is because every person that goes, they have a different encounter. Their walk is completely different. So I don't want to share a lot of the stuff that happened with me on my walk if you want to go and then expecting that to happen to you and you have a completely different experience. It would actually ruin your experience for you.
That's the whole reason why the men go before the women. Because if the women went first, they would tell the men what happened, and then the men wouldn't have the same experience. So
Now, April is putting up the link right there for the Georgia Lina walk to Emmaus. Their PayPal. They are a ministry. You can make donations if you feel led to make it, so that way we can continue doing these type of walks.
they don't turn people down.
That's what I was going to say. One of the things that their motto is that there is no, you can't come. It costs $100 to go, but if you can't afford $100, you can get scholarship. And so that's what your donations would be going to, is to be paying for the pilgrims that can't afford to go. So if you feel led, the link is there in the chat. Definitely, it would definitely be appreciated. All right, so did all that. You quit working.
Yes, in June.
In June.
After the live streams, which would have made sense that we would have been able to go live more often, but
we had all of the stuff with the doctor's appointments.
We did, and then also,
everything.
you know, we had to supplement our income a little bit. So we started out with soaps, but after a while, you learn that people can only buy so much soap.
Right.
And so then it became trying to find another income. So for a while there, we were hitting DoorDash.
And thank you, Brett Broussard, over there at Broussard Homestead, because he is the one who turned us on to dashing, and it really saved our tuchus. It really filled in a lot of the gaps. Now, we were having to go out every day and dash 8 and 10 hours a day, but we were making the bills and even starting to be able to put a little bit back into our emergency fund. And so, in all honesty, roof over our head or YouTube, we had to keep the roof over our head, so it kind of took a bit of a YouTube and stuff took a back seat.
Right.
Which anybody out there, you guys would have made this exact same decision. I know that. I can say that with confidence. But we do, you know, old Brett over there, old firefighting Brett, boy, he hooked us up with that. And that been eternally grateful for him sharing that information with us. I love you, man, for doing that. I really, really appreciate it.
And you got to be together. Well, for a little while. But after a little while, Jason's anxiety couldn't handle the stress.
Yeah, my brain couldn't handle it.
His brain, he would get overstimulated so fast. And the crazy thing about what's going on with his brain is that you don't recognize that right away. It ended up being, I can't stand you. You do this, you do that. And it wasn't that. It was just the overwhelming of in and out and up and downstairs, and so he had pain that was going, and traffic. And
traffic was the major thing. That, look, I love everybody, but y'all folks in South Carolina,
oh my gosh, can't drive.
I honestly don't know where y'all get y'all's driver's license. Now, for the most part, there's some good drivers in South Carolina, but there's some of y'all drive like Stevie Wonder.
I have to tell you something real quick because it made me think about it. When we were out earlier today, dude came into my lane thinking it was the turning lane, and that was in Georgia. Like, what is up with people driving lately?
What's up with people, but that was one of the things I had to kind of step away. So that one of the girls stepped up and kind of started going with Mom, which is good. They needed to
well, it's pushed them out because we started going into Clemson because it's like fish in a barrel in Clemson. And so I would take the girls, and so what was nice is that one, they got to see what college was like, and two, they got to see, heavier traffic and how you have to drive in that. And three, they got to be out of their comfort zone, which is huge for homeschool kids because socially, sometimes it's a little bit harder for them. And so they were forced to be able to speak with people and ask for things and be assertive and all of that. So it's taught them a lot of skills along the way.
But Carol has become a little bit more combative because of people. In my opinion, that's just my opinion.
But tell me how you feel about Charlotte drivers. Oh, I'm so glad I don't have to do that anymore.
So, along the ways with that, for those of you that's been around a while, I know what's his name got his because he prepaid. But Robin's Essential Oil book is now out and available. It's been out for a couple weeks, about a month. We have not found the right way to advertise about the book being out yet. So we're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
But the link.
But it's there.
But the link will be.
I didn't give her that.
But it'll be in the description, right?
Sure.
Okay, we'll put it in the description after the show.
Yeah.
So, right on your little note thing right there. What are you doing?
You don't have to look. Don't look.
It just completely distracts me when I come up with this. So, yeah, her book is done, and it's out, and I think she's fixing to try to put it up.
Why is it wanting me to do that?
So, wow.
You gotta do it this way, I guess.
This is weird. I'm completely distracted, y'all. I don't know what I'm talking about.
But there it is.
But there's the link to Robin's book. That was way
I got it. There you go.
hard on me, y'all. That was
very distracting. I know. I'm sorry.
So there's her book. I will be having. I hit myself way too hard.
It's not just the book either. I made some sheets that are kind of like cheat sheets. That I kind of put together so that you don't have to like flip through a book to look for something. It's like if you want to look at this oil, it's got everything on there from, whether it's a hot oil, can you use it topically, can you use it internally, that kind of thing. So definitely check that out. But there's Henry. He said it's actually pretty good. I haven't got a chance to play around with it, but I'm glad that it's more than just what does this oil do. There's actually recipes, right? So there's a recipe for each one. And the sheets, furthermore, do that. So it'll give you different practical uses for your homestead with those particular oils. So, and it's kind of hard for me to have like pictures of all of these things. That's one of the things that I'm struggling a little bit with because when you click on, and if any of you have gone to click on it, you'll see that it doesn't really have like a bunch of the different stuff. It just says that there's this, but I don't want to show you the picture of it because if you see the picture of it, then why get the sheet? Because then you'll be able to see it, right? So, isn't it on the website too? No, it's not. I don't believe it's on there yet. I haven't figured out a way to put it on there that it's an ebook on the website itself. But it is on the Stand Store, and the Stand Store is a really easy platform to be able to just click it and go straight to it. So that's pretty nice as well. So.
But speaking of the website, we have also updated a few pages on the website, and it's a constant work in progress.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Crystal, you're right. And if you love me, is there any way for you to take that off of there? Because I think I have it listed at a different price. I think I had it as a pre-sale. So we might have to take that down. Yeah, so maybe like make that private for a second, because I forgot all about that. That was like what, 2-ish, 3-ish years ago? 5-ish years ago, I don't know.
That sure is a pretty shade of red on you right there.
I just forgot about it. I was like, oh crap. So it goes along with what you were saying. We just redid
a couple of pages.
The whole format of it, really. Yeah. It's got a whole new look and feel. It's a lot more
user friendly.
Well, and not just that, but it's a lot more us. I think it feels more like us now. The color schemes, the different stuff like that. It's pretty sharp looking. So. And thank you to Crystal. Crystal's been able to help with that. She said we can link it to the Stand Store, actually. Okay, cool. So.
And speaking of Crystal, if you guys are thinking about getting your brand going and getting a website, she can host it. We used to be with GoDaddy, but Crystal has the exact same stuff as GoDaddy, except she backs her stuff up more. So if there ever is a crash, you'll get a more updated version of your website to come back if you're in the middle of construction or changing or however that stuff works. She updates hers more frequently than GoDaddy, and I don't know if it's because she loves us, but we got a better price.
I don't even think that's just because she loves us. I think she definitely, I think she's way more competitive.
Yes. It was a joke.
Well,
J on the front, E on the
I'm just making sure you're not like over speaking. That's all. But yeah.
But and one of the wonderful things, and I know this is because she loves us, her tech support with it is off the chain.
Yeah, they back up daily, weekly, and monthly.
Yeah,
well, and what I will tell you is when you find somebody that likes what they do, that's a big thing. Like when I'm making soap, like I'm constantly thinking of new recipes and different things that I want to try because I like it. I like the response I get when I find something that really works. And so it's something that I like to do. Well, if I had to do it and just to make money off of it and I didn't like it, I wouldn't take any pleasure in it at all. And I probably wouldn't do it half as well. She really enjoys it. Her favorite term is, she says she likes to geek out on different stuff. And that is absolutely true. She loves what she does. And not only does she love it, she's really good at it. So if you have anything like that you're looking at, definitely. Donald is yelling from the other side of the room. Tell him I said hi. Hi, Donald. So yeah, definitely check her out. Yeah. Oh, are you still looking at your notes?
Yep. In case you guys missed it, I was on a podcast. I was a guest on a podcast. His name is Billy. He calls himself the Permaculture Pimp. His YouTube channel is Perma Pastures
Farm.
Yeah, Perma Pasture Farm on YouTube. I've got. If you like me, you're gonna love Billy. We have so much in common. A lot of our likes, even our dislikes, we have in common. We really, we both speak out against people that are doing a lot of false information out there, trying to lead people astray in this lifestyle. But his stuff is just packed full of.
I thought we did a lot of instructional stuff.
Yeah, that's basically
all his
stuff is instructional stuff. And you're going to start to see some of the stuff that he's doing up there in the mountains in North Carolina, I'm going to try to replicate here to see if I get the same results, and we're going to share that stuff with y'all, and then maybe somebody like Brett can try and replicate it in Louisiana and see if we can get some of this stuff really rolling. He did a thing about tree hay. Never heard of tree hay before. I always had the thought about it in the back of my mind, but I never thought it was a thing. I'm still doing research on that. You know, but his a lot of his food forests and stuff like that, uber packed full of good information, packed full of you know, down to earth, give this a go, do it, you know, for like next to nothing. So go over there, check him out, leave a comment, tell him we sent you guys over there, send him some Big Bear love. We mentioned earlier we went to the Farm Where You Live conference over in Clemson. That's actually where we met Billy. He showed up there. He was thinking about coming. Then he had a prior engagement, and so nobody thought he was going to be there. And he kind of snuck in there about the middle of the show. And Robin saw him, and I was like, because I was upset because I wanted to meet him.
The way it happened was funny, because first thing in the morning, like, we've seen this guy on YouTube, and that's it. Like, just seen him in a couple of different videos that kind of got our attention, like, wow, that guy's got cojones. And I'm going to say that on YouTube. He has, like, Jason's first memory of him was he was doing a video, and he was upset with some people, and he decided he was going to use their channel names as coupon codes. Like, that hooked him.
I thought that was hilarious. I still think it's funny.
So both of the things that we remember about him were very confrontational, and so we both really
not necessarily confrontational. They was absolutely hilarious.
Anyway, so
it was just hilarious. And
so what happened is that morning we were there. We didn't know he would, you know, if he was going to be there or not. We had another couple come and talk to us. We were telling them about what we did, and she was telling us about Perma Pastures Farm and how his name was Billy, and that she was bummed that he wasn't going to be there. And I was like, oh, that's that guy with the coupon codes. And he's like, yeah. So we were like, well, darn, that stinks. He's not going to be there. Well, we were working with the STEC. We were actually telling people what our experience was with the side-by-side, with the tractor. Anybody that would come by and ask questions, we were there to help. And so Jason was off talking to somebody about the tractor, and I was sitting over drinking some water because you got to stay hydrated. And I look up in the stadium, and because it was a big arena, like a rodeo arena, and I see this guy walking down, and I was like, Jason! It was like fangirl, but not fangirl, like, Jason! And he wasn't listening, so I'm like screaming, Jason! And he finally sees me. I'm like, he's here!
And so, I mean, I just walked right up to him, and I mean, you guys know how I am. I walked right up to him, introduced myself, and said, dude, I just have to come over, shake your hand, blah, blah, blah. We got to talking, and we just absolutely hit it off. He's a veteran, so he's, as he likes to refer to me, being a Marine, harder than woodpecker lips. He's just as hard. So, I mean, we really hit it off.
Great guy, though.
Like I said, if you guys enjoy us and our teaching videos and stuff, you'll definitely
enjoy him.
Like Billy. Okay. But one of the things that has been kind of raising its ugly head again in the YouTube world, especially with the bushcrafters, preparedness, homesteaders, gardeners, anything like that, we're kind of getting, what's the word? Say the word.
We're being suppressed a little bit. I don't know if you've looked at, well, some of you might not even know. For the last like 2, 3, maybe more months, we've been consistently putting out videos 3 times a week. And we started, a couple of weeks ago, we started putting out a short every night. And we're not getting the numbers that we used to get.
Yeah, and it's not just happening to us. It's happening. Billy said something about it. Jess at Roots and Refuge.
It's just more noticeable.
She actually said something about the subscriber count and the view count with hers, that she's never, I'm going to paraphrase what she said, that she's never really focused on asking people to subscribe and basically all that
stuff.
Call to action stuff, but she has noticed a major decline in this. And what's weird about it is that right now, this genre, the preparedness, the bushcraft, off-grid living, homesteading, gardening, this genre is as big as it's ever been. The numbers that people are getting more interested in looking into this are through the roof. But yet everybody that's putting content out, our numbers are going down. And so
shadow banning.
So you could put a tinfoil hat on, say I'm wearing a tinfoil hat, and that kind of stuff don't happen. But what we used to get to 100 views in an hour is now taking 6, 8, 24 hours to get.
Days. We have one video that I don't think's even made it to 100.
The Tinker's wife just said, "What? She
yeah,
never even got
we're
it."
finding that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just the numbers that we have for our. See, look, she wasn't even subscribed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys know we used to run 30, 50 in the live stream. We've maybe hit 20 once.
Yeah.
And it's because it's just not.
They're not pushed.
It's not getting out there.
It's not getting pushed out there. So, check, and I'm not just talking about check with us. If you like watching the Stivers or the Hollers or anybody on YouTube that's into homesteading, preparedness, bushcraft, gardening, lifestyle, check your subscriptions. It's not that these people have like one of mine was, I love Corporal's Corner. He's kind of the preparedness bushcraft kind of guy. He's a brother Marine, but I just absolutely love the way he teaches. And he teaches knots, lashings, all kinds of things. And he actually goes out and does the camping stuff. Well, he's getting hammered with it. I've had to resubscribe to him 4 times in the last month.
Yeah, just keeps dropping
because it just keeps kicking it out. So one of the things that we're probably going we're talking about doing is we're going to kick that email list back out again, kick it up. So if you guys want to we're not going to spam you or anything. I'm not going to send you an email every time we put out a short, because we put out a short every night between the hours of 8 and 10 o'clock. We try to hit 9 o'clock religiously, but there are times where it's not happening. And so, but we'll put you on an email list. If you want to shoot us an email and say that you want to be on the list, and we'll put you on the email list, and I will notify you. That way we'll send the thing out when the the video is coming out. So there's that. I would also kind of we have something else that we're working on for another
source of content.
Yes, content platform. Is that how you say it? Platform.
Yes.
That we're going to be working. It should be coming out by the middle of November at the latest. Right now
I feel you staring at me.
Right now we're working on trying to find hosting.
You're giving away way too much.
There's that. So be on the lookout for that.
All right, so it's been about an hour. One thing that we've noticed is that that's about all that Mr. Brain can...
I'm good.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, since we don't have any members yet, I guess we can talk a little bit longer.
We can go for another.
But that is one thing I really want y'all to consider. we are going to start limiting our live stream to an hour. And then we will do a 30-minute after show to our members. Teresa!
Now,
in true fashion, showing up towards the end.
Speaking of that, we will be putting out 3 videos a week. We shoot for Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday.
This week I was a slacker, so they were Wednesday, Friday, Sunday.
Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, but it happened.
Yeah.
But it'd be that. Those are the days that we're shooting for. So if you don't get a notification, please, by all means, check.
Do a touchdown, or what is it called?
Touch and go.
Touch and go. Yeah, just do a touch and go real quick.
Do that. And then, of course, the short every night between the hours of 8 and 10. That will be.
If you haven't seen those, y'all,
coming.
I'm
out.
telling y'all, you have got to check those out because we have been making. I mean, I'm probably bragging a little bit too much on myself, but we've been going through and looking through a bunch of our old footage, and I have to say something first. I unfortunately was, before we knew what was going on with Jason's TBI, I was taking bloopers that was really showing symptoms of his TBI and using those as bloopers. And now that we know what it is, it's not funny anymore. So,
no, it's still funny.
No, it's not, because when you watch it on a screen, because I used to not do the editing, and once I was at home full time, I do most of the editing now. And so I started clicking back into old stuff and realizing, like, I really beat myself up bad. Like, remember the day I came in and I was like, I am so sorry. I should have seen this a long time ago. And I didn't see it because he would just delete that stuff, or he would put it in a blooper folder and I would never see it. So now what we've done, if you haven't seen the shorts, you most definitely need to check some of those out, because we've pulled little clips from existing videos that you might be like, oh, I remember that, that was funny. But there's a lot of really funny content in there. You'll definitely have to check those out. How is that buffalo?
Who asked about the buffalo?
Crystal! Somebody noticed!
The buffalo thing on the thumbnail. Crystal was in a group that we're in, and she was talking about the AI stuff.
So I've had my finger on the pulse, watching what AI is going to do. And a lot of your platforms are now like, hey, we have AI. Hey, we have AI. Like Canva has AI. Well, one of the things that we use is Photoshop. And Photoshop came out and they're like, oh, we have all these new AI features. You got to check them out. So I took the time to watch the tutorial on what I could do. And one of the cool things about Photoshop is you can select an area in a picture, and you can, once you've highlighted that area, you can tell it what you want there. And it will add it to the picture. Now, it's not always 100%. Like earlier, I was trying to put corn, like a cornfield or corn stalks, and it just gave me an ear of corn. So sometimes it's not perfect, but we were playing around because I was doing it, and Jason saw it, and he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, check this out. And so he's like, so y'all should be happy it was a bison, because at first he wanted me to put an elephant.
It was an elephant, and it looked so
it looked so real.
Cool and so real. So one of the things that we're going to do, because I know everybody that's in the chat right now, y'all are just like me. If it's free, it's me, and I want 3. So, so one of the things that we're going to, because we're going to start doing this live stream every Saturday night, 8 p.m. And we're going to have a
giveaway.
No, we're gonna have topics that we're gonna talk about. It's not just gonna be kind of like tonight, where it's just all about us and everything that's been going on. We're going to have specific topics that we're going to be talking about. And it's going to be everything from what's going on in the world to preparedness to homesteading, cooking, gardening, cooking. Everything.
Talking about love language free.
Like behind our banner thingy back there, we have a list of topics, and just like if you look at that board right there, that's our goals. We wrote our goals up there, and we got a board here and a board where.
There's boards all in here.
There's boards all in the room. Excuse me.
This is how much we love y'all. This is in our bedroom, by the way. Just so you know, because Crystal asked earlier if we redid our studio.
Yeah.
We physically put this together. You see, that's like wood with PVC, just so that we could have that in here for y'all.
That's actually the frame.
Yeah.
That we use.
What's up? Look at our members. Woohoo!
When we're doing our cooking video, I see Mama Z. That's the frame that I was telling you that we needed to build for.
I'm gonna show you just a second right there, but not all the way.
This right here. This is what I connect
the GoPro.
The GoPro to get that overhead shot that I was telling you about. So that's the thing that we built a while ago. So that's what you need to build for your channel. Anyway.
Well, I can't take complete credit for the boards. We actually saw something that Sydney did over at the Naked Gardener. And he was talking about, and I think I even saw it like in a Facebook post. Yeah. And he was talking about how they did goal boards, or I don't know what he called them. But anyway, we decided to grab every board that we own and pretty much put it in here. And I think we even purchased another one. And so we have like all of our month goal, 6 month, year, 2 year, 5 year, all of that. Crystal. For buffalo beef. So we put all of that on here, and it definitely helps me because it's right there. It's right in my face. Like when I wake up in the morning, that's my wall. That's where my side of the bed faces. So I can see, it reminds me of how much I'm failing. So, but yeah, we're way more focused than we used to be. We're more goal driven now. So you're definitely going to see that. And like I said, if you haven't been getting those notifications, you've definitely missed out, because we've put out a lot of really good information over the last couple of months.
So back to the buffalo.
Yes.
So one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to hide in thumbnails, or maybe even in a video. I don't know if we can put it in a video.
I gotta look into that. I'm not sure.
But we're gonna hide crazy stuff. Like this time it was the buffalo, right? Just to get everybody's attention. It may be a dolphin, it may be a gnome, it may be a wolf or a coyote, but it's gonna be in a spot where it just absolutely 100% doesn't belong. Now, I'm not going to make this easy, okay? So you might have to look for a minute. But
Easter eggs, exactly.
What it's going to be in there, and then we're going to
on the live stream.
We're not going to tell you what video it is. But you'll have until the following live stream to email us, and the first correct one we get will get a free bar of soap from Robin.
Oh, look who's here. Hey, Tim.
And so we're gonna do that, and we may change up the prizes. It may be a free copy of her book, free copy of my book, a discount coupon, or
right. I may give out like some of those sheets. I may email a sheet or something like that. So we'll get with you on that, but it'll definitely be something.
Yeah. Now we're also going to be opening up our homestead here. Be on the lookout for it. More than likely starting this winter. We're going to be doing a pig butchering class. Then we're going to start doing different different homestead, off-grid, living, different things like that, sustainability kind of stuff, classes here. Carol's actually getting involved. She's going to be doing a mushroom foraging class here.
Carol's actually been getting involved in making videos, which is huge if you know her. And so yeah, she has volunteered to do a couple of classes, a foraging class, a mushroom class, that kind of thing. She may even do one on weaving grapevine baskets. So we'll have a bunch of that out. That's one of the things. So like if you go and look at the membership tiers, there is a section where there'll be like a newsletter, and so we're gonna put out a newsletter.
Hey Carol. Crystal says she miss you and she loves you.
I love her. Oh, and Dessa too.
Oh, and you too, Dessa.
So Tim says she's been making good videos. Well, Tim, I will definitely.
Makes me feel loved.
What she just said, she loves you too. I gotta fix that.
Tim says she's been making good videos. I agree with that. I've been editing her stuff, and she is more and more saying, well, I'm going to make a video about this. I'm going to make a video about that. And I'm like, go for it. Because a lot of times, a lot of these shorts that you guys see are because she takes the camera out and she starts being silly because nobody's watching her, right? It's just the camera.
Carol has a wonderful sense of humor.
She's a great sense of humor. And so if you haven't seen those, Tim, I encourage you, if you haven't seen some of the shorts, you definitely need to check those out because she's hilarious.
Like Carol did a short where if she was on, like, look, you guys know I'm a big survival type nut. I love love the survival movies. I love the survival shows. I love The Walking Dead. I definitely love all of the the Left Behind books and the Going Home series and the 1 Second After. Was amazing book. I love those. Well, Carol did a short where like she was talking to the camera like if she was on alone.
That's hilarious.
It was absolutely hilarious.
And imagine if you're just uploading. Like she brings in the card, I put it in there, I just put everything on the desktop and I just let it sit. And then like a month later, I'm flipping through stuff and I'm looking at different files and I get to that one and I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, Jason, come here.
Yeah, because we'll send her out to get we were sending her out there to get just random B-roll things. And that's basically how it began. And now we purposely
send her out.
If we've got a lull in something, it's like, go get B-roll of what? I don't care.
Well, if you haven't seen the tractor, when we did the announcement for the tractor, that whole short was because we sent her out there to set up the cameras for us. And so she had to be in front of it to make sure that it was positioned right. So she was just, fooling around doing that. And then when we brought it in, I was like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. The best part, the thing that I want to say is that she what does it say? Stop talking about that short, please. What I was going to say before she did that was that short is like almost 2 years old, I think. And 2 years ago, she was very self-conscious and very, outwardly she didn't care. She'd walk in anywhere and she had this air about her. But if we had the choice to do something or not do something, she would ask us not to do it. So we've been sitting on a lot of this stuff for a while. Well, when we started making shorts every night, I would say something along the lines of, wow, that would be a really good short. And eventually she was like, go ahead, put it out there. So when that alone one, that was like the icing on the cake.
That's the ultimate one.
And she was like, yeah, just put it out there. It's fine, whatever.
So we do have some new members of the family as well. We have this rescue kitty who just completely launched itself on me. This is Smalls.
Kitty Smalls.
I named her Smalls because I'm always going, you're killing me, Smalls.
Well, and her original name was Tiny because she was like this big.
Yeah, she was getting bullied outside. And I think it was on the one video where we were putting in the hanging feeder.
We were making a hanging feeder for the broilers.
Stovich tractor. And
she would not leave you alone.
She would not leave me alone. I literally put her on my shoulder and you have to go see that. Yeah. But that's Smalls. If you missed the video introducing Lagatha, Lagatha is our new Rottweiler.
She's almost 2 now.
She's almost 2.
No. 3?
No, 2. I don't know. Anyway.
Maybe 3.
She's Robin's dog. She was supposed to be mine.
She's supposed to be Jason's. But again, when Jason was going through the grieving process and everything that was going on with his brain, he was sleeping a lot. So first thing in the morning when I would wake up to take my shower, get my coffee, she would sit with me. And so what ended up happening...
This is the lie that Robin tells herself so that way she can sleep at night. She absolutely fell in love with Lagatha, and it was like a girl bonding moment or something.
No.
It's like Lagatha... And this is one of the things that we learned about... I'm just going to say Rottweilers because...
No, we don't know if it's dogs in general, but it's definitely with Rottweilers.
A male Rottie will love one person. Apollo was my ride or die. Everywhere I went, he was right there. We were boys. We were
outside, wherever.
If you go back and you look at any of the videos that we've
You'll see him in the background.
You'll see him in the background somewhere. He was never more than 5 feet away from me at most. If
you didn't see him, it was because he was at his feet.
Yeah. Lagatha, on the other hand, girls, Rottweilers, they don't necessarily pick a specific person. They love everybody, not necessarily equally, but they will love everybody in the house, but mostly they love their me time. I don't know. Maybe it's just a girl thing, but she does the Rottweiler purr. It drives me absolutely insane.
Because it sounds like a growl if you don't know what you're listening to.
It's a mixture between a growl and a moan.
It's pretty funny.
So I think that pretty much.
I thought you were going to say with girl Rotties, you were their ride or die. Follow them around everywhere. No, but I will say, like, if I'm gone, like, we just recently had another walk to Emmaus here last weekend? Yeah?
No, 2 weeks
2 weekends ago. Anyway, and no, last weekend. And so, the minute that I got home, she was smothering me. Like, I couldn't breathe. She put her whole weight on my chest. It was...
But while she was gone...
She didn't...
She would come love up on me and make me rub her belly, and she would love on the girls and all kinds of stuff like that. So it's just one of those things. But let's see.
I think that's it. I think that was our list of stuff. Yeah. And and what's that supposed to be? I knew I was a female Rottie making Donald leave me alone. Oh, he's surprised in the chat.
So,
he always makes me laugh with his turd emoji.
Yeah. So please check out our sponsors that we listed in the beginning of the show. Please, definitely, if you feel led to, you want to give to this ministry, please consider giving to the Georgia lineup.
Oh, Blaze update. Yeah, he asked earlier. I'm sorry, I saw that. Is he still on active duty? Yes.
Yes.
He signed a 5-year contract?
5-year contract because of his job.
So he'll be till 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he is now actually closer. He's not nearly as far away.
But we still don't see him.
He's able to come home on Sunday for dinner if he so chooses.
But right now he's
now he's in Jacksonville celebrating a victory.
Because he went to the Georgia game. The boy's doing exactly what I told him to do.
And that's the thing. He really did. Jason told him. He said, "Look, don't go into the Corps with a girlfriend. Yep. Don't be looking for one. Go enjoy your life because you won't get a chance to do it again."
Well, especially when you don't have to worry about a rent, power bill, food bill,
child support,
any of that. Well,
paying for a wife, like any of that stuff.
Any of that stuff. So he can afford to go to these different concerts, and he can afford to go to the ball games.
Well, and he's been smart too. Is like he's finding opportunities where it's still considered like his community service, but he's like working security at a concert, or he's working security at a rodeo or whatever. So he's still getting to go to all of these different events and functions, and he's not having to pay for them. He's just paying with his time. So that's pretty cool. He's really enjoying.
He's an NCO now. He's a corporal.
Yes.
He'll probably put on his sergeant stripe
next year,
February. Yeah. Sometime, I think.
He's just waiting on time at this point.
So
yeah, he's doing really well. He's very happy.
I always mess with him, say he's not in the real Marine Corps because of his job. I don't even know if they field day.
They do.
But hey, more power to him. That's what being smart is all about. So he's having a really good time. I know with the current climate overseas, they're definitely working more.
Yeah, so if you're the praying type, definitely pray for our guys that are in the line of work that he does, because they're having to really work hard right now.
One of his buddies had to work like 10 or 15 days straight.
No time off.
And with their job, they work a couple, like a fireman, they like work X amount of hours and they got X amount off, blah blah blah, and so that's kind of a rare thing. But because of what's going on with over there in Israel and stuff, they're really getting hammered right now. So I'm really thankful that he had this opportunity to take off and go down to Jacksonville this weekend to kind of de-stress and stuff like that.
Blow off some steam for a little while. Yeah. And thank God Georgia won, because that just makes it better. So, well, guys, it's been really awesome getting to hook back up with you guys. It's nice to see all the people that have been in the chat, the people we haven't seen commenting lately on videos.
Just because they didn't know the videos were going on?
Well, Lost Dude, they don't do that anymore. They don't do a pension like they used to do. It's now a 401k like anybody anywhere else.
Yeah, he can roll it.
It's not a 20-year thing. I mean, like, he can do 20 years, but it's a pension. It's a 401k, not how their stuff is. So.
And so we want to leave you guys with some scripture tonight, Ephesians 2:10. Ephesians 2:10, and I'm going to paraphrase because there's many different
translations.
Basically, in Ephesians 2:10, it tells you that you are God's workmanship, His masterpiece, so remember that as you go through the week when it gets tough. Remember, God doesn't make junk, and you're not junk. You're His original creation, His masterpiece. So thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us tonight. We'll see you right back here next week, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And we will start next Saturday. We'll start the after show. Yeah. So our live stream next week will go 8 to 9. And then the live stream after show will be 9 to 9:30. Yep. So thank you guys for coming by, and see you in the comments, hopefully. Check those subscriptions. Make sure that you're there. Y'all have a wonderful night. God bless. God bless. Got to go to the end screen.